Hi guys, Kirsten here with Dr. Tim Harrigan. Today we're talking about lower back and protecting that lower back, and that translates in just to day-to-day movement. So when we drop something on the ground, we need to pick it up. A lot of that translates into keeping that core tight and not rounding that back, because we could be more prone to injury.
Yeah, I would say 19 out of 20 people that come into our office needing us to fix their low back, they threw it out, they injured it, whatever it was, 19 out of 20 times, you guys, it was not doing a deadlift. It was doing something like reaching for the salt. It was doing something like reaching for that pencil off the ground. Here's the problem. Lift with your legs, completely untrue, okay? That's what we're all told, lift with your legs, not your back. That's untrue, and we're gonna demonstrate why, because it's more about the core, right? A deadlift, we're gonna show you in a second. If you wanna demonstrate, what is a deadlift? You're basically lifting mostly with your back. Now, because she knows she has a lot of weight on here, she's engaging her core, she's keeping her hips tight, she's keeping her shoulders tight, and then she's gonna do the lift, right? When we know we're lifting something heavy, we squeeze all of that because we know it's heavy, right? So let's do like 3 reps for him. As she comes down, she doesn't wanna ever relax in the middle of that motion. We do see people get injured doing deadlifts, and usually it's that split second of relaxation somewhere along this movement. So whenever she has that bar in her hand, I don't want her to relax at all. And that gets challenging when we get tired, right? We wanna kinda, relax the muscles and get a little more comfortable. Don't do that. That's when people do get injured while they do a deadlift. Now, she just lifted with her back. What, I thought it was lift with your legs, right? No, you can lift 100% with your back if your core's engaged. Now, why do people get injured when they reach for salt or a pencil? Because I'm not thinking that's a heavy object. I don't keep this tight. I'm kind of lazy and slow and I reach for it. The worst position for your lower back discs is a slightly forward and a slight rotation. Just pay attention to anybody that's ever thrown out their back that you know, it's always a bending forward and a light rotation one direction, reaching for the salt, reaching for something over here on the ground, doing a kettlebell, swing, or a power clean or something where it's a forward rotational and your core isn't tight. That's when people get injured. So much more important than lift with your legs, keep your core engaged, especially when you're under a load, but especially too when you're getting in and out of your car, when you're reaching for the salt at the dinner table, anything where you have to bend forward slightly and rotate, especially the non-heavy objects.
Yeah, I taught CrossFit for many years, and one thing that I loved about CrossFit was not only the modification, but just how the movements are functional movements and they translate into day-to-day life. And so when you think about a deadlift, maybe not everyone is lifting weight day to day just like this. However, how many times do we bend over to pick something up? We are doing a deadlift whether we realize it or not. So getting into those good habits of keeping that core tight and not rounding your back, it makes a big difference.
And yes, you can get injured lifting weights and doing exercises. We see more people getting injured not doing this stuff, right? Some people are scared, oh, I can't exercise, I have a low back issue. Be more scared of reaching for the salt, right? Because that core needs to be engaged. So this is an unconscious thing that has to happen because it needs to be conscious for a while. I had to teach myself this, leaning over, working on people all day long. I learned early on in my career that a lot of chiropractors actually have low back issues, ironically. It's because we're bending over, working on people, basically exercising all day long. So I taught myself to engage my core, but I had to be aware of that and conscious of doing that consciously for about 6 months before it started just happening automatically. Now occasionally, it's mostly unconscious. I do it just automatically because I train myself to do that. Now I just catch myself occasionally not doing it and I can fix it quickly. But it takes time when you're getting, again, in and out of your car, reaching for salt, just engage that core a little bit. That's kind of like, the core is hard for people to understand, but when you cough, you feel that pressure inside, that's your core. Okay, that's what you want to kind of squeeze. So it's a little bit of abs, but there's 5 other sides to that core. Just engage that a little bit, maybe 5 to 10% engagement as I reach for something. When you're doing something like this, squeeze it 100%, right? So you don't get injured. But it's all about the core and protecting your spine versus lifting with your legs, not your back. Thank you.